The enormous silver ship hovered in Earth's orbit, hidden behind a cloak that bent the light around its smooth hull. Inside, Zalter looked at the blue planet through the main window, his hand with his index finger pressed against the transparent material as he studied the world below. "Beautiful, isn't it?" he said to no one in particular. The Asterisk Seeker of Wisdom Asterisk Command Center was quiet, as the other 6 Valorans worked at their stations. They all had the same light blue skin, big eyes, and slender bodies. After traveling for 3 years from their home system, they finally arrived at their destination. "The third scan has been completed," said Dexcor, the scientific officer. "No sign that they detected our presence." Zalter nodded. "Good." The advice was clear. "We just observe. No contact." The Valiant Collective had been observing Earth from afar for decades. They intercepted radio signals, television broadcasts, and internet communications, which confused and fascinated them. Humans were technologically primitive compared to the Valorans, but they created art, music, and stories with a richness that the aliens could not comprehend. "I don't see why we travel so far to study these creatures," said Laxfen, the ship's doctor. "They spend most of their time fighting with each other." Zalter turned to the crew. "This is exactly why they are interesting. The Valiant Collective has had peace for 2,000 years. We have mastered science and technology, but our population decreases every year. Our artists create nothing new. Our scientists make only small advances." He walked to the central screen and brought up images of Earth. Children playing, people dancing, crowds cheering at sporting events. Humans feel things we no longer feel. They have something we lost a long time ago. The ship's computer announced. "Selected target observation zone." The display changed to show a small town surrounded by forests and hills. A sign read, "Welcome to Pinewood. Population 8,543. This community represents an ideal cultural sample," said Mira Len, an anthropologist on the team. She was younger than the others on her first research mission, small enough for in-depth study, but big enough for social complexity. Zalter nodded. "We will focus our observation here then." Mira Len, "Prepare for surface deployment." Mira Len's eyes widened. On the surface? You have studied their languages and customs for years. His DNA was modified to appear human. You are the obvious choice." Mira Len felt excited and nervous. No Valorant has ever walked among humans before. "When will I leave?" she asked. "Tomorrow." The board approved a 6-month observation period. Far below, in the cool night air of the North Pacific, U.S. watchers crossed dark waters. On the bridge, Captain Noah Harris studied the radar screen with tired eyes. "Sir, we have that strange reading again," said the radar operator. Harris looked over the young sailor's shoulder. For the 3rd night in a row, something large appeared briefly in low Earth orbit before disappearing. "Probably space debris," Harris said, "or a satellite changing position." "Yes, sir, but it's big, whatever it is." Harris nodded, recorded and sent the data to command. "There's not much more we can do from here." He walked to the window and looked at the stars. After 20 years in the Navy, he thought he had seen it all. But lately he couldn't shake the feeling that something was different up there. In Pinewood, Sam Bennett graded papers at the kitchen table. The high school science teacher rubbed his eyes and checked the time. After midnight, his apartment was silent except for the soft ticking of the clock. He didn't notice the light ACA that briefly shone in the night sky, didn't even realize that soon a new neighbor would move into the empty apartment next door. A neighbor who would change everything he thought he knew about life in the universe. Above all, the Wisdom Asterisk Seeker continued its silent vigilance. His crew doesn't know that their mission to understand humanity would soon lead them to a truth they never expected to find. The woman who called herself Marie Lane stood in front of the bathroom mirror in her new apartment. She touched her pink skin, ran her fingers through her brown hair, and blinked her green eyes. The transformation was perfect. No human would suspect that she was actually Mira Lane, a Valoran researcher from a star system 26 light-years away. "Appearance adaptation complete," she said to the small device on her wrist, beginning the first day of observing the surface. She practiced smiling, frowning, and looking surprised. Valorans rarely showed emotions on their faces. These human expressions felt strange to his muscles. Marie took the apartment keys and left. The morning sun was warm on her new skin. She had studied terrestrial weather reports, but experiencing real sunlight was different. A door opened next to her, and a man walked out. He had dark hair, glasses, and carried a bag full of papers. "Ah, hello," he said, noticing her. "You must be the new tenant." "I'm Sam Bennett, apartment 4B. Marie quickly accessed for training. Humans valued eye contact, smiles, and firm but non-aggressive handshakes. She performed all three. "Marie Lane just moved in yesterday." Sam smiled back. "Welcome to Pinewood. Where are you from?" Marie gave her prepared response. "Chicago. I needed a change of scenery." "Well, you certainly understand. Pinewood is about as different from Chicago as you can get." Sam checked his watch. "I'd love to talk more, but I'm late for work. I teach science in high school." Science. Marie's interest was genuine. The Valorans chose this location in part because the local school has won several regional awards. They wanted to understand how humans taught their young. Physics and chemistry. They're not the most popular topics, but I do my best to make them interesting. "I would like to hear more about it someday," said Marie. Sam looked surprised, but pleased. "Most people's eyes glaze over when I talk about my work. But of course, I'm free to grab a coffee this weekend if you want to take a local tour." After Sam left, Marie walked through the town of Pinewood. She recorded everything with the scanner hidden in the watch. The small stores, the park where the children played, the community center with its bulletin board full of announcements. The Valorans chose this city because it was considered average by human standards. But Marie found nothing average about it. The colors were brighter than in the simulations she studied. The sounds were more complex. And the smells. Cooking food, car exhaust, flowers, pets. It overloaded his enhanced senses. In the afternoon, she visited the library. The old building housed thousands of physical books. This confused Marie. The Valorans stopped using physical media centuries ago. Why would humans keep these inefficient paper objects when digital storage was available? The librarian, an older woman named Betty, saw her confused. "Can I help you find something, dear?" Maria hesitated. "I knew it in the city. I'm just exploring." Betty smiled. "Well, welcome to Pinewood. Are you a reader?" "Me, yes." Marie thought about the thousands of books about the land she studied during her training. "What do you like to read?" Marie was not prepared for this question. Valorants had no likes. They had purposes, functions, missions. The concept of personal preference was almost foreign. "I'm not sure," she admitted. Betty's smile widened. "Oh, these are my favorite readers to help." Someone opened up to anything. She let Marie look through the stacks, pulling out several books. "Try this one. And that. Oh, and definitely this." Marie left with 5 books of different types. A mystery, a romance, a science book, a story, and a book of poetry. That night, in her apartment, Marie began to read. She should have been analyzing the patterns of human language, but instead she found herself simply enjoying the stories. When Sam knocked on her door the next morning to invite her to breakfast, she realized that she had read all night without sending a single report to the ship. This wasn't part of the mission plan. But as she told the waiting Sam, she would join him in 5 minutes. Marie decided that some aspects of human behavior required more direct participation to understand. Above ground, Zalter waited for the daily report that never arrived. 3 months passed. Marie has become a familiar face in Pinewood. She got a job at the local coffee shop, rented books from Betty every week, and spent many nights talking to Sam. His reports to the *seeking wisdom* were now regular again, but shorter than Zalter wanted. On the ship, the research team reviewed the latest data. "Look at these brain scans," Dexter said, pointing to the screen. "When humans face problems, their neural patterns change. They adapt in ways that our brains cannot." Zalter studied the color images. "Is that why they create so much art and music?" "I believe so. They process emotions differently than we do." Dexter created a molecular model and identified a protein in their brain that we don't have. "It may be linked to your creativity." Loxfen, who had doubts about the mission, now seemed interested in whether we could isolate this protein. "We could understand why our society is stagnant." "Finished, Zalter. The board will want more data, detailed samples." On the communication screen, he typed a message to Marie. "Needed deeper biological analysis of humans. Prepare for sample collection." On Earth, Marie did not see this message immediately. She was helping Sam prepare for a science fair at school. Students set up projects throughout the academy, and parents walked around looking at their work. "You have been of great help," Sam said as they put up the last sign. "The kids are excited to show off what they learned." Maria smiled. She felt comfortable with human expressions. Sometimes she even did them without thinking. "I like that. she said, realizing it was true. In his world, education was solitary and efficient. Valorous young people learned from computers, not from teachers who cared about them. There were no science fairs with proud parents. A young woman approached them nervously. "Mr. Bennett, I can't get my volcano to work." Sam melted to her level. "Let's take a look, Lily." Marie watched Sam fix the project, explaining each step to Lily. The girl's face lit up as the small volcano finally erupted with red foam. She hugged Sam before running off to show her parents. Something strange happened inside Marie. A warm feeling spread across his chest. The Valorant research team modified her body to look human, but they didn't expect her to feel human emotions. Yet here she was, experiencing what humans call happiness with the joy of a child. That night, back at the apartment, Marie finally checked her messages. When she read Zalter's orders, the warm feeling disappeared. "Love collection straws," she whispered. This meant bringing humans onto the ship for testing. Invasive procedures, perhaps even dissection. Marie looked out the window. Across the street, Sam was walking his elderly neighbor's dog, something he did every night. The old woman couldn't take care of the energetic dog on her own, so Sam helped without being asked. Marie's communication device beeped with another message. The council approved the extraction of 5 human subjects for study. Select ideal specimens from your observation area. Extraction team preparing. Marie's hands shook. 5 people from Pinewood would disappear, taken to a laboratory millions of miles away. People she knew now. Betty from the library. Lily and her science project. Sam. She thought about Sam, how he stayed late to help struggling students, how he spent his own money on school supplies, how he explained complex ideas with patience and humor. The Valorans wanted to understand what made humans special. Marie was starting to realize that it wasn't something you could find on a brain scan or on a protein. It was in the way they treated each other, how they cared. His training told him to obey orders without question. But for the first time in her life, Marie wasn't sure she could do it. In orbit, Zalter prepared. The extraction team, unaware that his perfect observer was having dangerous thoughts. 200 miles above Earth, astronaut Lisa Rodriguez performed maintenance on the International Space Station's solar panels. As she worked, something caught her attention. A brief glow against the darkness of space, like heat rising from a road on a hot day. "Houston, are there any other objects in our orbit today?" she asked through her radio. "Negative. Rodriguez, you are free for the next 12 hours. "What are you seeing?" Lisa frowned. "Probably nothing. Just a weird lighting effect." But she took photos anyway. When she got back inside, she sent them to NASA with her report. 3 days later, in a draftless room at the Pentagon, analyst Frank Powell pinned these photos to a board already covered in similar images. He added a map marked with red dots showing radar anomalies, strange atmospheric readings, and unexplained electronic disturbances. "It's the same pattern," he told Colonel Ryan Carter. "Whatever it is, it's been watching us for months and is focusing on this area." He circled a small region on the map. Pinewood, Ryan Reed, population 8,543. "What's special about that?" "Nothing obvious, but that's where most of the unusual readings are concentrated." Ryan nodded, assembled a small team, kept everything quiet. "I'll go there myself." In Pinewood, Marie walked through the park with Sam. Children played on the swings while their parents chatted on the benches. Marie had not yet responded to Zalter's extraction orders. Every day more messages arrived from the ship, each one more urgent than the last. "You seem distracted," Sam said. "All good." Marie tried to smile, "Just thinking about some difficult decisions I need to make." Sam stopped walking. "You know, my students think I'm just a science teacher, but my real job is to help young people solve difficult problems." He sat down on a bench and made himself comfortable next to him. "Want to talk about it?" Marie hesitated and then sat down. "It is complicated. My employers want me to do something I'm not comfortable with." "Something illegal?" "No, but it would hurt people." Sam looked at her seriously. "So don't do that. Just like that. It's not that easy. Where I come from, we follow orders. It's how things work." "Where exactly are you from, Marie? Sometimes you talk like you're from another planet." Maria looked away. If only he knew how right he was. "I must go." She got up quickly. Back at the apartment, Marie found a new message waiting. "The extraction team arrives in 48 hours. Prepare the target list immediately." She had to make a choice. As she considered her options, someone knocked on her door. She opened it and found a tall man in casual clothes. "Mississippi Lane, I'm Ryan Carter. I would like to ask you a few questions. Marie's enhanced senses detected the weapon hidden under her jacket. What is it about? Mind if I come in? He didn't wait for an answer, walking past her and entering the apartment. You arrived in Pinewood 3 months ago. Prior to this, there is no record of Marie Lane anywhere. Marie's pulse quickened. There must be some error. Ryan went to the window and looked out. Strange lights in the sky, electronic disturbances, and in the center of everything, a woman without a past. He turned to face her. Who are you really? Mississippi Lane. Before Marie could respond, her communication device beeped loudly. Ryan's hand moved to his gun as a holographic message appeared in the air between them. Final warning. Extraction team dispatched. Coordinates locked to your location. Stay in place. Ryan's eyes widened as he looked at the alien text floating in Marie's room. What the hell is this? Marie made a split-second decision. The truth. And if you want to save the people of this town, you need to listen carefully. In orbit, the extraction ship left the asterisk of Wisdom's asterisk seeker, carrying 4 valiant soldiers and collection equipment. Their mission: return with 5 human specimens, by force if necessary. The countdown to first contact had begun. Ryan Carter looked at Marie, his hand still resting on the gun. Start talking. What are you? Marie took a deep breath. I'm not human. My real name is Mira Len. I come from a planet called Valera, 26 light years from Earth. Ryan laughed, but there was no humor in it. Right. And I'm from Mars. I can prove it. Marie touched the device on her wrist. His skin rippled and changed color, becoming the pale blue of his natural form. His eyes got bigger, his fingers longer. Within seconds, the human disguise was gone, replaced by his valorous appearance. Ryan stumbled backwards, dropping a lap. Jesus Christ. We have been studying your planet for decades. Marie explained, returning to her human form. I was sent to observe closely, to understand what makes humans different from us. Different how? Ryan's voice was steady despite the shock. Your emotions, your creativity, your humanity. My people lost these things a long time ago. Ryan's phone rang. He replied without taking his eyes off Marie. Carter here. He listened for a moment. How long? Understood. Keep them at a distance. He hung up. That was my team. They detected an object entering Earth's atmosphere, heading straight for Pinewood. Your friends. Marie's face turned pale. The extraction team. They are coming in search of human specimens. 5 townspeople. Specimens. Do you mean guinea pigs? Yes. My people want to understand why humans have qualities that we lack. Ryan's expression hardened. So you're saying that aliens are coming to kidnap American citizens for experiments? He drew his gun. It's not happening. I agree. Marie said quickly. That's why I'm telling you this. I want to stop them. Ryan studied her face, looking for mistake. Why would you turn against your own people? Because I learned things in these months about humans, about myself. Marie struggled to explain feelings she barely understood. You treat each other kindly for no reason. You help strangers. You create beautiful things just because they bring you joy. A loud knock on the door interrupted them. Maria tensed. Maria? It's Sam. Can we talk? Ryan, point you with your gun. Get rid of him. Marie opened the door slightly. Sam stood there, looking worried. Hey, he said, I was worried after you left so suddenly. Are you well? I am fine. Just busy now. Sam frowned. Is there anyone else there? Everything is fine. Before Marie could respond, a blinding light shone outside, followed by a deep hum. The extraction bus had arrived. They're here, Marie whispered. She grabbed Sam's arm and pulled him inside, closing the door. Sam, there's no time to explain everything. But you are in danger. We all are. Ryan was already at the window. Military planes will be here in 10 minutes. Not soon. The buzzing grew louder. Car alarms began blaring throughout the neighborhood. What is happening? Sam asked, confused and scared. Marie looked at the 2 men. The extraction team is looking for 5 humans to take for study. They will target people I have observed closely. She turned to Sam. This includes you. Ryan checked his gun. How can we stop them? We cannot fight them directly. Their technology is very advanced. But I know your protocols. Marie took out her communication device. If I can contact Zalter and convince him to abort the mission. What if you can't? Ryan asked. So we ran. Get as many people out of here as possible. Sam still looked confused. Mari, what are you talking about? Who's coming? Outside, the buzzing stopped. A soft thud indicated that the craft had landed in the park. Marie looked at Sam with eyes full of regret. The people who sent me here, they have come to understand humans, but they are doing everything wrong. She took his hand. And if you don't stop them, they will take you and others to a laboratory millions of kilometers from Earth. Sam looked at her, finally starting to understand. You're not from Chicago, are you? No, Marie said softly. I'm not even from this world. Four brave soldiers exited the ship, hiding in the trees on the edge of Pinewood Park. They wore armor that bent the light around them, making them nearly invisible. Only a faint glow in the air revealed its movement. Locate the observer, ordered Private Lydd, Krellvaus, and then find the human specimens. In Marie's apartment, Sam was still trying to process what she had told him. You are an alien. From another planet. Yes, said Maria. And more are coming. We need to move. She turned to Ryan. Your team is nearby. Ryan nodded, surrounding the city, but they have orders not to attack until I give the order. I need to know what we're dealing with. For soldiers with advanced weapons, they can stun or kill. Their mission is to capture, not harm. But they will eliminate threats. And the big ship, the one my analysts identified, the Wisdom Asterisk Seeker, a research vessel with 20 crew members. Sam looked between them. This is crazy. Why would aliens want to kidnap people from Pinewood? Marie touched his arm. Because we don't understand you. Humans have something we lost generations ago. The ability to feel deeply, to create, to connect. So they want to experiment with us. Like lab rats. Sam pulled away from her. And you have helped them? I was. But not anymore. Marie looked out the window. I learned a lot about what makes humans special. It cannot be studied in the laboratory. Ryan checked his phone. My team reports movement in the park. Thermal signatures, but nothing visible. Camouflage technology. Mari explained. I need to contact the ship. She activated her communication device. Zilter, this is Mira Len. Abort the extraction mission. I repeat, abort. After a moment of static, Zilter's voice responded. Explain yourself. Observer, this approach is wrong. Taking humans by force will damage everything we came to study. The council approved the action. His objection was noted but rejected. Marie's face fell. So I have no choice but to stop him. Merchant. Zilter hissed before cutting the connection. Ryan was already moving towards the door. We need to evacuate people near the park. They will be tracking me, said Mary. I should drive them away. No, Sam said suddenly. You are our only advantage. You know how they think, how their technology works. A loud bang came from outside. They ran to the window. A car was overturned in the street. The invisible soldiers were approaching. We need a plan, Ryan said. I can get military planes here in minutes. But what can they do against an enemy they can't see? Marie thought quickly. Soldiers trust their camouflage, but it has a weakness. The water disturbs the field. Sam's face lit up. The hydrants. We can use them to expose the aliens. And then what? Ryan asked. My people avoid conflict. They haven't fought a war in 1,000 years. They are scientists, not warriors. Therefore, if we show resistance, they may retreat. But Zilter won't give up easily. He will report to the board. A plan formed. Ryan called his team and gave orders. Sam took the keys. My truck is in the back. We can use it to get to the park faster. As they headed for the door, Marie paused. Sam, I'm sorry for lying to you. We'll talk about it later, he said, if we survive this. They ran down the stairs and entered the alley behind the building. Sam's truck was there, but so did one of the Valorant soldiers, glowing almost invisible in the dim light. Don't move, Marie whispered. Its sensors detect movement. The soldier turned to them, raising a gun. Marie stepped forward, changing into her Valorant form. Krellvaus, stop. These humans are under my protection. The soldier hesitated. Observant Mira Len, you have gone native. The council warned this could happen. The advice is wrong about humans. You don't need to take them by force to learn from them. Krellvaus raised his weapon again. Move away. I have orders. Ryan's hand tightened on his gun. Sam looked for anything to use as a weapon. Marie stood her ground. If you do that, you will never understand what makes humans special. You will destroy exactly what you came to study. For a moment, no one moved. Then sirens sounded in the distance. Help was coming. The standoff continued as the fate of the first contact hung in the balance. The standoff lasted only a few seconds before Ryan acted. He fired his gun at the fire hydrant next to the Valorant soldier. The water exploded, spreading in all directions. When the water reached Krellvaus, His cloaking device failed. The alien became fully visible, its blue skin and armor now exposed for all to see. Brother Ryan shouted, pushing Sam and Marie toward the truck. They jumped out, Sam revving the engine while Ryan fired more shots to keep the soldier at bay. The truck roared down the alley. Go to the park, Marie said. We need to stop the other soldiers before they take anyone. Above them, the night sky suddenly lit up. The asterisk Wisdom Seeker was camouflaged, now visible to everyone on Earth. Its enormous hull reflected the moonlight, a silver disk hanging impossibly high in the sky. God, Sam whispered, seeing through the windshield. All over Pinewood, people came out of their homes, pointing to the sky, in wonder and fear. Cell phones recorded videos that were already spreading across the internet. The secret has been revealed. On the ship, Zilter watched the chaos in alarm. This wasn't the plan, he told his crew. We should remain hidden. Sir, said the communications officer, human military aircraft are approaching. And your defense network's SA Global detected us. Guns are being pointed at our position. Zilter's face showed something rare for a Valoran. Fear, call the extraction team immediately. We need to leave. And Mira Len? Zilter hesitated. She chose her side. In the park, the remaining 3 soldiers surrounded their targets. Betty from the library sat terrified on a bench, unable to move after being struck by a shock beam. Nearby, 2 other residents of the city were in the same condition. Sam's truck skidded to a stop at the park entrance. Ryan's team had also arrived. Men and women in tactical gear taking up positions around the perimeter. The soldiers can still see through the walls, Marie warned. They know you're here. Ryan nodded. So we don't hide. He raised a megaphone. Attention. This is Colonel Ryan Carter, United States Army. You are surrounded. Free your prisoners and surrender. There was no response. But Marie could feel the soldiers' confusion. Valorans never expected resistance. Let me try, she said, picking up the megaphone. This is Observer Mira Len. The mission is compromised. The ship has been detected. Zilter will deorbit soon. If you stay, you will be trapped. This time there was movement. One of the soldiers appeared, dropping his cloak. The others followed. They looked at each other, uncertain. That is true? Asked a soldier. As if in response, a beam of light descended from the ship, creating a portal for extraction. The soldiers looked up and then at their captives. Leave them, ordered the lead soldier. We're leaving. They freed the stunned humans and rushed towards the extraction beam. Within seconds, they were gone, pulled back toward the ship. Sam ran to help Betty and the others. Are you well? The older woman looked stunned. Sam, what's going on? I saw. They were not human. It's a long story, Sam said gently. Marie stood aside, watching the ship still hovering above. She knew Zilter very well. This withdrawal was tactical, not final. Your communication device has been activated. Zilter's voice came clearly. The Council is very unhappy, Mira Len. We will return to our initial system and report this failure. But before we leave, we demand that you return to the ship. That's an order. Everyone looked at Marie. Ryan's troops had their weapons ready, not knowing if she was friend or foe. Sam's face showed concern and something else. Trust. Marie made her decision. No, Zilter. I'll stay. You would choose these primitive beings over your own kind. Why? Marie looked at the humans around her, scared but standing firm, helping each other, facing the unknown with courage. Because they have something to teach us, something we need to learn. What could they teach us? Zilter's voice was disdainful. The truth about what we lost, Marie said. About what it means to be truly alive. 6 months later, Marie stood on a hill overlooking Pinewood. The city looked peaceful in the morning light, just as it had when she arrived. But everything changed. The world now knew that they were not alone in the universe. Once the wisdom-seeking asterisk was seen by thousands of people, there was no turning back. Governments scrambled to respond. People panicked and then gradually accepted the new reality. Nice view, Sam said, approaching her. Although I bet it's nothing compared to the view of your world. Maria smiled. Valera has 3 moons and rings like Saturn. But there's something special about Earth's single moon and its blue sky. In the months since first contact, Marie has become Earth's ambassador to the stars. His decision to stay shocked the Valerian Council. Zilter returned to their home world with news that one of their own had gone native. The UN meeting is tomorrow. Sam reminded her, are you ready? Marie nodded, as prepared as possible. The council finally agreed to send an appropriate diplomatic team. No more hiding places, no more secret observations. After the Pinewood incident, videos and photos of the alien ship spread around the world. Marie worked with Ryan and government officials to establish peaceful communication. It wasn't easy. Trust was fragile on both sides. Do you think they changed their minds? Sam asked about what they can learn from us. Some do. Zilter, surprisingly, has become our strongest advocate. My reports on creativity and human emotions reached him. Marie looked up at the sky. He told the council that what humans possess cannot be studied in the laboratory or found in brain tissue. It has to be experienced. A car stopped at the bottom of the hill. Ryan Carter came out, now wearing a general's uniform. They're here to help you, Sam said. Marie took his hand. In the months they worked together, their friendship grew into something deeper. Will you come with me to New York? I could use a science teacher's perspective. I wouldn't miss it, Sam said. They walked down the hill together. Ryan greeted them with a nod. Ambassador, we have received news that the Valorant ship will arrive tomorrow as scheduled. The Security Council is awaiting your briefing. Maria nodded. Thank you, General. As they headed to the airport, Marie thought about how much had changed, not just on Earth, but also on Valera. Reports from home indicated a cultural upheaval. Young Valorants were challenging old ways, inspired by what they learned about humans. Art was being created again. Music played in public spaces for the first time in centuries has led to schools being redesigned to encourage questions rather than just answers. A penny for your thoughts, Sam said, using an expression she had grown to love. I was thinking why my people wanted to understand humans. We thought we were superior because of our technology and our organized society. We thought we could learn their secrets and use them to fix what was wrong with us. And now Marie smiled. Now we understand the truth. What makes humans special is not something you have. It's something you are. You feel deeply. You connect with each other. You create not because it is efficient, but because it brings joy. They arrived at a military airfield where a plane was waiting for them. The Valorant Council proposed an exchange program. Marie told Sam when they boarded. Scientists, artists, teachers from Earth would visit Valera, and some of my people would come here to learn. As a cosmic student exchange, I would sign up for that. Sam said. Marie laughed. In fact, I already suggested you as the first candidate. Ryan joined them on the plane. We have just received the first transmission from the approaching Valorant diplomatic ship. He handed Marie a tablet. They are asking for you specifically. On the screen was a message from Zalter. Observer Mira Len, the council has reviewed your reports. We come to understand humans. But thanks to you, we began to understand each other. We are ready to learn. As the plane took off, Marie looked out the window at the Earth. Below, its mission has changed, but its importance has only grown. Two civilizations had the opportunity to help each other, to share their strengths, and to overcome their weaknesses. The truth she discovered was simple. The universe was better when different worlds learned from each other.